Hey everyone, it's butternut season. I love butternut season. It runs from October to about February here. I'm gonna make a delicious, just super tasty side dish with butternut squash, cranberries, greens, walnuts, and this is a wine pairing recipe, so we're gonna be talking about that too. I'm also gonna tell you how to buy butternut squash, how to store your butternut squash, stored properly. These things last for like 3 months, and give you a little bit of a hack on how to peel it. All that coming up. Okay, so quick tips for purchasing a butternut squash. The thing with butternut squash is once it's picked, it doesn't ripen after that. So you want to pick a good one, because if you don't, what you see is what you get. And a good one stored properly can keep fresh for 3 months. So what you want is one that's heavy for its size. Just pick a few different ones that are similar in shape and size and go with the heavier one. You want a skin that's tan and taut, and the peel should be firm. You could try to press your nail into it a little bit and don't pierce it, but it should push back. It should be difficult to do that. When the peel is firm, because these things are a pain in the butt to peel, right? When the peel is firm, you know it's fresh and delicious. Okay, and if you store it properly, it'll keep for 3 months. Here's the thing. Butternut squash doesn't like to be too cold. Never put it in the fridge. It's just way too cold in there. So you want to store it in a cool, dark place, but not that cold, and someplace with a decent airflow. Stored that way, it'll keep for 3 months. And here's the thing. If you want more details on how to buy it, check out my video on how to buy butternut squash. It gives you all the specifics, a real deep dive on buying butternut squash. Also, I have a video on how to store it, so that too. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare our butternut squash, which I'm gonna get into the peeling part. So what you wanna do is you wanna take your butternut squash and you wanna pierce it with a fork or a knife just all around the skin. Pierce it, and then we're gonna put it in the microwave for 3 minutes and cook it for 3 minutes. What that's gonna do is it's gonna cause the flesh of the butternut squash to steam and kind of loosen that peel. It's also gonna soften the peel. Once it's done cooking, let it cool for a bit, and then that peel will come off super easily. It comes off, look at this, super easily. You can remove that peel and then prepare your butternut squash. So for this recipe, you wanna cut your butternut squash into 1/2-inch cubes. And then we're going to take that and we're gonna saute it. So take your pan and warm it up per the pan's instructions. It's always good to heat your pan before you just start adding stuff in. I'm a firm believer that you warm the pan before you add your fat. So warm up the pan, and then you're gonna add in your unsalted butter, add in that butter, let that fully melt, and then we're gonna add in our cubed butternut squash, and then completely mix that so the butternut squash is completely coated in the butter. We're gonna cover the pan and let it cook for a couple minutes. And while that's cooking, let's talk about wine. So, this recipe is made to go with a SIP certified Malbec. Let's talk about SIP wine. SIP certified wine is sustainable wine. Why should you drink sustainable wine? Because sustainability means things are farmed well for the planet. You don't want to farm things in a way that doesn't enable you to keep farming. You want them to be sustainable, right? Okay, so now we're going to just remove the cover and we're gonna add in our sea salt. So we're gonna go ahead and salt that butternut squash, mix it all together. Now this is really important. I think some people don't understand when it comes to cooking. It's important to get salt into your food on the early side of cooking it, because salt penetrating your food and flavoring your food is a factor of both time and heat. So it needs time and heat to do that. The more time that you give it, the less salt you end up using. So if you were to, salt the food at the beginning of a recipe or salt the food at the end of a recipe, you would use more salt at the end of the recipe to get the same amount of flavor. Cover it and then let it cook. It's gonna cook for about 10 minutes or so. You want it to cook, you're gonna have to stir it occasionally, but you basically want the butternut squash to be tender but seared. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and add our dried cranberries. So I'm using dried cranberries here, and I'm using them for a specific reason. If you use fresh cranberries here, you're gonna get the world's worst soup. It's just, they're gonna release so much liquid that this dish is going to be gross. So the reason that we're using the dried cranberries and the reason that we're kind of working them into this recipe towards the end after the butternut squash is cooked is to just kind of soften them. It's a more complementary texture to have the softened dried cranberries than those kind of chewier ones that you get if you're like just snacking on them out of the bag. So once you've softened the cranberries, you're gonna turn off the heat, remove the cover, and add in your arugula. And you're just gonna like fold in the arugula and just let the remaining heat from the pan just cause it to wilt a little bit. The goal here is not to overly cook it or to saute it per se, but just to give it a little bit of a wilt for the dish. And then we're gonna mix in some chopped walnuts. And then you have the most important part, giving this video a like if you like watching it. If you like this recipe, give me a like. It's one of the best ways to support a creator, but also enjoy it with some wine. Enjoy it with a SIP certified Malbec. Just go check out their website. You can find lots of delicious and tasty wines. Wines that are made for the planet, wines that you can drink and feel good about drinking. Check them out, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good holiday.